Smalls. I suppose you don't even know who the babe is either. It's blood. What? Chewing tobacco?
Tobacco, man.
What do you do with it? You're killing me, Smalls.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and it happened, people. We've all been waiting. Well, Fatal J's definitely been waiting for the Dune 2020 trailer to drop. It's still scheduled to come out, I believe, in December. We'll see if it holds that date. Movies are finally coming out into theater. More theaters are opening up, and Jay was hyped before the trailer. Let's see what he thinks about after the trailer. Fatal Jay, welcome back to the channel. How you doing, buddy?
I am here.
Nice. What was that sandwich you were eating? It looked delicious.
My wife made hamburger meat smothered in gravy, and I had to improvise because I didn't have nothing to eat for lunch. So I took some hamburger buns, wrapped that sucker up in that bun, and had myself a wonderful lunch.
Man, I would have thrown a slice of cheese on there, but it did look yummy. I was a little bit jealous, but I will be having a snack after this. But before we get into the details of the Dune trailer, I do want to say, if you've been coming around the channel but you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to subscribe to Thinking Critical YouTube. Hit the bell for notifications. Definitely give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Give us a big thumbs down if you want me to kick Fatal J to the curb. You want me to get his ass out of here. I don't think we'll be getting much of that, Fatal J. People seem to enjoy you on the channel. Obviously, Fatal J does have a YouTube channel of his own. There's going to be information on that on the end of the video, but let's get right into it. You've been waiting for this Dune trailer. We're going to get into some of the details, but just generally speaking, I thought it was pretty effective. What did you think as a Dune fan? Did it hit all your feel spots? Were you tingling in all the right places?
I was tingling all over my body that after I finished watching this wonderful trailer, I had to take 3 showers because I creamed everywhere. Now, I know that's probably too much for the viewers to hear, but I have been looking forward to this trailer for this movie for a long time. I'm a huge Dune fan. I even love the one that came out in the 80s. I love the Sci-Fi Channel movie version a tad bit more. People are not prepared for what they're going to see. They're going to see an epic space opera in Dune.
So you've told me you think this is going to be this generation's Star Wars.
It's going to be the Star Wars sequel. Now, let me put some emphasis on that, because whenever I say Dune is a Star Wars killer, I'm not talking about the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. I'm talking about that mess that Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, and Rian Johnson gave us. It's going to be the Star Wars killer. Yes, you're right, sir.
All right, well, let's get into something. There's a Den of Geek article. We're kind of use some of the screenshots here. I didn't want to have to find all these myself. So the trailer is out. Obviously, the star of the show is Paul Atreides. I guess he's been bred to be the perfect human, and he's going to save humanity. What do you think about the casting? Do you like the way that they've shown him in here? Obviously, the character looks much younger than the 1980s movie, but I think he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a teenager. He looks much younger now.
This is what sparked my interest. Now, I'm not too familiar with the main actor, Timothy. I can't say his last name, but
Chalamet.
Chalamet. Okay, Timothée Chalamet. I'm not familiar with his work, but I find this interesting. You got Timothée Chalamet as the main star, and then you got some freaking heavy hitters as the supporting cast. And if you're familiar with Josh Brolin, Javier, and Batista, and Jason Momoa, those are some heavy hitters in Hollywood. So I want to see how this is going to work out. This guy here, Timothée Chalamet, he's going to have to come with it because he got an A-list cast.
So I'm glad this isn't coming out in the age of like the Maze Runner and what is it? The Hunger Games, where the YA stuff was all the rage and everybody was just bad characters. Hopefully this isn't more. This is less Edward Cullen and more like Mad Mardigan, from Willow or something like that. But he does seem to be a little bit brooding in the initial trailer.
Heck yeah. And the thing about this movie is this. A lot of people are scared because the people who are a fan of Dune, they know Dune is a thinking type movie. It makes you think real deeply about your inner self and achieving your goals and if you're going to follow the path of your destiny. A lot of people are scared because they think the main audience out there are not going to welcome this movie that much. But I think when it comes to the average moviegoer, if you give them some great fight scenes, if you give them some good war scenes, some good CGI, hey, this movie is gonna knock it out the park. I promise you. And
Well,
I
that
see
appears to
the
be what
trailer.
the first movie is. This is supposed to be the first of a two-part movie covering the first book, and this is basically centering on the Civil War on the planet, where he's part of a House Atreides. It feels like the Zendaya character. I think she's Chani.
Yeah.
I guess he's seeing visions of her in the future, but I guess she'll be in the next movie a bit more. Not a big fan of Zendaya as an actress, to be completely honest. She was okay in that Disney show. I think her acting kind of fit there. I don't think she's all that effective in the
Yeah,
Spider-Man movie.
and I
She was
find that
better in The Greatest Showman, but still, we'll see. Maybe this is the role where she
yeah, I
finally
wasn't a big
takes
fan
it
of
up.
her either in Spider-Man, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of them Spider-Man movies she in, but this is the thing here. I just find it real interesting that we got a heavy hitter director, we got a heavy hitting supporting cast, but your two main stars are kind of like newbies
Mhm.
in Hollywood. So this could be something interesting. We might see these two characters, these two actors really shine. They're going to have to come with it. Period.
Absolutely.
Point
They
blank.
got all
Because
these stars around them.
if these two characters don't shine, these two actors, it's going to hurt the movie because those are the two main characters in the book.
Mhm. All right, so you've mentioned the director Denis Villeneuve a couple of times. I really liked his Blade Runner 2049, but I will say this: you probably could have cut 30 or 40 minutes out of that movie, and it would have been better. I enjoyed Arrival a bit. It was a little bit tedious to get through. It was a very interesting story. It's certainly cerebral, but another movie that he probably could have cut 30 minutes off of. Do you think he might go long again with Dune and really draw out the story a little bit too long? And
Wes, he
I'm
gonna have
worried about that.
Wes, he gonna have to. Dune
Mhm.
is a movie where you cannot skip through details. It's a movie where it's going to have to be long. It's going to have to be on the level of like a Lord of the Rings. You're going to have to flesh out a lot of characters. You're going to have to give them a lot of information because if you skip out on a few things, it's going to be bad. The 1980s movie made that mistake where they skipped through some things and tried to cater to the regular moviegoer, and it just didn't work out. Now, me being a horrorcore Dune fan, I still love the movie, but if you read the books, it's a mess. The movie is a mess. So
Mhm.
this one, Wes, is going to have to be long. It's going to have to be
Well,
long.
the movie in the 80s is notable for skipping through a lot of the information at the beginning to kind of get into the war scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of getting back to one of the big characters in the trailer, he's talking a lot to himself about he's having this inner demon or something inside himself being woken up. He's meeting with the Reverend Mother here, and she seems to be a big part of this, and she puts him to a test. He puts his hand in this thing. I guess it's a test of pain.
Yep.
What's the significance of that to the story? Because it looked pretty gnarly.
She just testing him, and this is the cool thing about Paul. Paul is fighting himself throughout the whole book. He keep having visions of him being this great ruler to lead these people out of oppression. And when you watch the movies and read the books, it's just a constant conflict battle where he has to face this struggle and defeat this struggle, mostly with thinking. This
Mm-hmm.
is really a thinking movie, and that's the one thing that I really love about Paulo Atreides. He uses his brain. You don't see that much in movies anymore.
So, do you think by the end of the first movie, he's going to have discovered just how powerful he is? Because I know that's a big part of the story is the journey of discovery of who he is, and then he kind of takes over, right?
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how they split it into two, but this movie needs to be a two-parter. It most definitely need to be a two-parter. I think that's where now on the flip side, have you ever seen the movie The Hobbit?
Yes, I've seen The Hobbit.
They
I'm a
made
huge
that
fan of Tolkien.
They made that too freaking long.
Absolutely.
That could have been a one movie. But this
One
movie
or two,
right
absolutely.
here, yeah, but this movie right here, it needs to be a two-parter. It needs to be.
Yeah, there's some other interesting scene. There's obviously Paul Atreides is trading with like his I don't know, is he his bodyguard or is just his mentor? And they got these weird shields on. Look like some pretty cool effects. Well, how do you think that they pulled that off?
They did an excellent job because the two battles, the two big battles that you see in the movies, is based off a knife fight, dagger fighting. I'm not going to give too much away, but Paul is very trained in the arts of ripping you to shreds with a dagger. I think
it's pretty cool. I love Josh Brolin. I'm a huge fan of the Goonies, so anytime I see Brolin, I'm in.
West, they put that in there for the average moviegoer, so it won't be boring. The trailer, if they just put the thoughtful stuff in there, the thinking stuff, it could look boring. So I understood why they put the war scenes, the battles, the knife fight. I can understand that.
Yep. So there's some other interesting stuff. Obviously, Oscar Isaac is the father of Paul Atreides.
Heck yeah.
The husband to his mother, who plays a huge role in this as well. I like Oscar Isaac, although it seems like he has a hard time picking roles. Hopefully, he picked a good one in this.
I want you to think about this, okay? Methamphetamine. Just picture an entire planet where people had methamphetamine, like they produced it, and that's Duke Leto. That's how he's like. He owned this big, gigantic planet where people all over the universe love this drug called spice.
They love the spice.
But spice is more than a drug. It does a lot. It provides space travel for the universe. It's a very high commodity, and Duke Leto is ruling over that planet. But it's kind of going to be like Game of Thrones, where everybody is fighting, like the royal class. They all fighting over that planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the last character we definitely have to talk about is his mother, Lady Jessica. I guess the original plan, because she's part of kind of like an order where she was going to give Atreides a daughter, and they were going to have control over it and marry her off. But she ended up giving him a son, and she has conflict within herself as well about what her son is actually going to do.
And the crazy thing about it is she's a side piece. That's the best way I can put it. She's not a queen, but he loves her. Out of all the women, he loves her the most, but she's a side piece. But she did give him a son, a great son.
Mm-hmm.
She
very
also
powerful son.
And she got a powerful daughter too.
That should be coming up in the next movies, correct?
Probably in the next movie, which is needed, because if they pop up with that baby, and I hope I'm not spoiling, but if they pop out with a baby that knows more than an average adult male or adult female, you're going to say, what the freak is going on in this movie? So that's what I'm saying. Small details like that, it needs to be a two-parter movie.
So I do want to you mentioned this is like they're going to be the Star Wars of this generation. Now, we do know that when George Lucas was writing Star Wars, he had read Herbert's first Dune book, and he was influenced by it. And it feels like there's a couple of like Star Wars call-outs. Like when I see this picture on planet Arrakis, those look like the Jawa transports.
Look like Tatooine. Look like the planet Tatooine where Luke Skywalker is from too. Yeah,
so I saw that one. And also the very end when the sandworm comes up, it looks like a Sarlacc pit coming out of the earth.
Cool. That sandworm scenes is going to be insane. Like it was one angle to where it looked like they was hovering over the mouth of the sandworm. If you go see that in IMAX, that's going to be trippy, like a roller coaster ride. I can't wait to see this. That right there.
Yeah.
That
they have another close up. That doesn't look like it, but it looked pretty amazing scene. It's definitely very important to the character. But obviously, you love the trailer. Like I said, I thought it's pretty effective. It's definitely piqued my interest. I don't think we learned a ton about the story other than it's going to be focused on Paul Atreides, and it's going to be about his discovery about who he is and what his destiny is, and of course, hopefully he'll find that. Is there anything else that you absolutely need to talk about this trailer before I ask you about something else about Dune here real quick?
I just love Dune because it's very inspirational because us as human beings, we always ask ourselves this question. You might say it out loud or you might just constantly think about it, but you always ask yourself, what is my purpose? What is my destiny? And I think Dune, as a book and as a movie, they did a good job with human beings asking themselves this question: what does it take for you to get to that point? What does it take to get out of the struggles of life to achieve what you want to achieve or be who you want to be? Or who are you? We ask that question: who am I think Dune is the perfect movie that displays all that. I love it, man. I love it.
Well, I know you are not only a movie buff, you're also a comic head like me, correct?
Yes, sir.
How excited are you for this? The Dune House Atreides comic book coming out from Boom Studios. I believe it's going to be a prequel to the movies. It's going to be written by, oh my goodness, I can't believe I've forgotten. It's definitely by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson,
Brian
who were the
Herbert,
ones that wrote the graphic novel.
Who me and you was trying to decide, is that Frank Herbert's son or a close kin? But sign me up because I saw pictures for the art. It looks amazing. I'm getting this on pre-order, just like TMT Last Ronin. I have to have this comic book in my collection.
Duke Leto is a young man there. Who else we got? We got
the art
Vladimir Harkonnen.
Yeah, Harkonnen. That's like the opposites of the Atreides.
We got one piece of art. It looks pretty cool.
It looks amazing.
And I think if you're a big Dune fan and you're ready for the movie, get into this comic book. I think it's going to be dope. Boom is hot right now. Everything they do seems to be turning into gold.
And see, when me and you was talking, we was at first. I remember they was making this thing like a graphic novel, but I guess they going the issue route. So hey, whatever. Just give us some good content, some good art, good story. I'm ready.
So we promised the viewers to talk about Dune, I think like a week ago, and you said, Wes, we ain't doing this. You're gonna hold out. We're gonna wait for the trailer to drop. I'm glad we did. Like I said, it was very interesting. Finally got our real first looks at some of these characters. We've seen some still shots, but obviously Jason Momoa looks pretty badass. Dave Bautista looks very sickly and a very dangerous individual. Yeah. Oscar Isaac, like I said, the supporting cast on this is A+. Like they definitely went out and got the right character actors. Denis Villeneuve is a great director. He's a master at setting mood. He's great with developing shots and all that stuff. We'll see, if he's able to maybe slim it down a little, because sometimes his films do tend to drag on a little bit here and there.
But I keep telling you, Wes, it's needed. It's definitely needed. It's needed. Look, you can't make Dune 1 hour, an hour and a half movie. You just can't.
No. I'm assuming this would be like, with the material they have, it should be like a 2.5 hour movie. I just hope it's not 3. How's that?
I don't know. It might need to be 3. I'm for real, Wes. I'm talking about this is like A New Hope. Just think if A New Hope was 2 hours. I mean, an hour and a half or 2 hours.
It would suck. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
It wouldn't make sense, though. You wouldn't understand the movie. I think this is just one of those movies.
Listen, you're putting it on a pedestal. You don't want to compare it to Star Wars, the original Star Wars movie, right off the bat. You're going to set expectations so high it can never meet them.
I'm going to put it like this, though. When you saw Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner, that environment that the director gave us, absolutely. You can't say that wasn't beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. The cinematography, just the feel of it felt like you were in a Blade Runner movie.
Yeah.
Even the score just kind of brought you right into it. It is a very it was a visual treat. It was a wonderful movie to watch.
I think our brains are going to literally be in these planets. Yes, I'm setting the bar up high. And I usually don't
Is
do
my
this.
brain gonna melt and fall, like drip out of my ears? Is that what's gonna happen to me?
No, but you're going to literally feel like you're on these planets. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
All right, you're not going the cheap route either. You're going IMAX 3D. You're going the whole route on the
Oh
first
heck
viewing.
yeah, man! You can't enjoy it on anything else, man. Dennis is going to make the
It's
money.
Denny, man. It's Denny. He's European.
I know I can't say people names. I butcher people names all the time. But Denny is going to kill it, man. Denny going to kill it so bad it's going to make me want to go to Denny's after I watch this.
Boo! You get a little breakfast Dagwood, right?
Yep.
I remember I had a Denny's right down the street from my house when I was in Colorado Springs, and we'd come home from the bar and we'd always go get a breakfast Dagwood.
Man, that's always the spot to go after the bar or the club, you know?
Yeah. When I was a younger man, you know, I'm in my 40s now. I don't do stuff like that anymore. Obviously, I'm in the Philippines. There ain't no Denny's here.
Me either, because my wife, she'll go up in that club, pull me by my collar and say, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I would be getting texts, be like, what the hell are you doing? I'd be like, all right, let me get out of here. All right, Fatal G, I think we covered it. You know, obviously the trailer dropped. Hopefully the movie does come out in December. I'm very hopeful that these movies start hitting their dates and, you know, we don't keep getting more delays. But, you know, cinemas are opening. It's good signs. And you think this is going to be the movie for the holiday?
This is going to be the movie.
All right, folks, you can take it to the bank.
And if it's not, my soul will be shattered. I will have no faith in any other movie. Well, except for Snyder Cut. You know how that go.
It's not a movie. It's a TV show now.
Well, it's gonna be a choice. Either a movie or episodes. Whatever you want to do.
All right, man. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know you got to get back to work. Thank you so much for coming here talking about this movie. And I think you're going to be on the show Saturday, right?
Heck yeah.
Live streaming on Thinking Critical Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I think we're going to be talking about all the weird, interesting things happening over at DC Comics.
Goodbye.
Later.